Hello again, Rajith, in video number 3 in this series of moving into 5D with other souls who are also awake and a welcoming to all of humanity to awaken. So in the last video, we discussed how many people are awake and are committed to bringing awakened 5D or fifth dimensional frequency communities to around the world. So we have 33.5 million light workers. They originally started with about 5,000 who were star seeds, and they have awakened up total of 755 million people, which we talked about in the last video. And so in this video, we want to talk about building communities. So the interesting information has been coming that we are actually going to build fifth dimensional frequency communities on this planet to bring healing to this planet, to bring healing to the hearts of humanity, and create a place in these communities around the world that are going to be based on non-duality, which is love, the frequency of love. So this is the first video that you've ever seen of mine. Please check back under One Illumined Harp. You can look at all of the ones. Back in April, I started the first one, so you want to probably get them in order, and you'll learn about what fifth dimensional reality is, what frequency you need to be there, and how to build that crystalline body. So we won't cover too much of that in this one. So fifth dimensional community, here we go. First of all, the divine has not set a limit on the number of people who can join these communities. It would be fabulous if all of our 8 billion brothers and sisters on the planet would wake up and join hands and work together to provide love and community and common goals to be achieved for the common good. They have to just get up to the right level spiritual frequency, which is 10th level spiritual frequency. If people want to do that, it's not impossible. If you are a 5 or a 6 or a 7, you just have to make that your goal. Start meditating, start doing your prayers, doing selfless service, etc., to help join the community and build your crystal body. You can also lift your frequency up quite a bit by moving into a vegetarian or vegan diet. We talk about that in the other videos as well. So right now, we know that in order to move into a community that is based on non-duality and fifth dimensional frequency, we know that you have to be a minimum of a 10th level spiritual frequency up to 14. We know that you have to have a minimum of 1 layer of a crystal body, and that usually will take at least 3 months to build. So we need to understand that even though the portal for moving into fifth dimensional frequency communities is open until June 25th of 2022, the last moment that you can make the decision to move into that frequency is February 1st, 2022, because it will take you time to make sure that you're in 10th level spiritual frequency. And plus that, it takes 3 months to build that first layer of the crystalline body. And that has to do with a vegan and or vegetarian diet or transition into. It has to do with your prayers and devotional time. So that's what it's going to take to join these communities that are based on love. All right, so based on love and working together with Mother Earth. So we're going to be working with all of the elements of earth, air, water, and fire, which are natural to our planet. And we are also going to be working with kind of mythical, maybe, beings that stories have been told about in 3D. So gnomes and fairies and the elementals who actually do work with our plants, with our trees, who are part of nature that in this third dimensional reality, most of us have not seen. I remember seeing it when I was a little girl. I would stop at the bushes and talk to little fairies and gnomes. some of them I was on a regular path of walking when I was little, and I could recognize them and had regular conversations with them. And that all went away after I was 6 years old. And I think probably out of safety, because so many people disapproved of the fact that I could communicate with beings who were not human. And I understand their reticence. But nevertheless, those energies are there. And if you want to have some verification of whether or not they are there, just look up the Findhorn, Findhorn, or some people call it Findhorn, community in Scotland, where they literally created a community that was in an arid area, like there was just sand. Ostensibly no food could possibly be grown there, and they had cabbages that were this big and broccoli that was this big. I mean, the pictures are amazing because they work with the elementals and the fairies. So it's totally possible. And in fifth dimensional frequency, we can co-create to our imagination. And with love, anything is possible. You know, they say that in all the great scriptures. With love, anything is possible. So here we go. Let me go back to my notes so that I get this absolutely correctly. All right, so here we are. These communities, okay. Some of the questions people are going to have are, how will I know if I can get into one of these communities? How do I know what spiritual frequency I am? How do I know where to join them if I am to join them? How will I be guided into making this decision? When are we moving and creating these communities, and where? So, first of all, human beings have to be the correct frequency to be able to join the community. So remember, 10th level to 14th level spiritual frequency. You've had to have done some of that work. You have to have a minimum of 1 layer of a crystalline body. And mind you, we are in the process of going from 1 layer to 24 layers over the course of about 5 years of time on the planet. Okay. And so that that first layer needs to be fully completed in order to match the frequency vibration of the new community. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I've kind of seen how this is going to work, but your frequency, your body, spiritual frequency, physical, mental, and emotional, has to match fifth dimensional frequency in order for you to partake of being in that community. And I already said people have to be making that decision by February 1st, 2022, in order to create all the changes that would need to be created. Okay, and we are all going to work for the common good. I already covered that. So in order to get to this particular place, you need to have quiet time in meditation. You can learn to listen to your intuition. It's very important for you to develop receptivity. How do you do that? How do I know any of that? So this is what I have to say about that. We need to be practicing our spirituality on a daily basis. Spirituality and the gifts that come with it moving into 5D are things that have been earned. They've been earned by doing selfless service with humanity, with animals, selfless service for the land, doing devotional time in whatever, if you have a religion, whatever religion that you are connected to, do devotional time to the Creator. You can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it by any name of a deity, you can call it Source, you could call it Mother Nature. It doesn't matter. It's about doing devotion time, taking quiet time, building your receptivity. Some people do mantras, some people do prayers, some people do chants, some people do many, including, I think we also have to do including gratitude. So those things are really, really important in order to build our receptivity. So how will you know if you can go into one of these communities. First of all, there has to be desire, right? You have to want to live in non-duality. You want to live in brotherhood and in healthy communication and loving communication and respectful communication with yourself, with the people around you, and with the environment. We want to bring honor, love, and respect to everything that we do and create harmony on all those different levels. So you will know by just intuitively starting to take that quiet time and listening. In terms of when to move, we'll all be given a time. If we're tuning in, we will know when it is we are supposed to be getting ready to move to probably specific places around the planet where we're going to be able to create these beautiful communities that are based on love. I think it's incredibly exciting to be able to go there. And how there will some people who are really in tune will probably also know when the time comes where these communities are going to be, and they can be of guidance to you. But they won't be able to tell you where those communities are unless you are of the correct frequency. So the homework is do your prayer time, do your meditation, do your devotion, do your selfless service, tithe part of your income, tithe part of your time, give back to the universe, have gratitude, so that you are embodied love, that you are embodying receptivity, so that you can move forward, so that you can hear, so that you can be part of the community. You're not going to be able to get in just because you say you want to. It's something that is earned. You have to prove to yourself and to the universe that you are willing to live a love-based life. You know, one that is not working with judgments about others, one that is working with forgiveness of others and of self. This is very important. It's about positive co-creation. So you will know internally by listening whether or not you are going to be going. And all you have to do is prepare with loving devotion, thanking the divine, not asking the divine, can you go? Thanking the divine for the opportunity to go, and by doing your own spiritual homework in whatever fashion works for you. If you are not sure of where you are at spiritually in frequency, ask somebody who might know. There are people who are super awake who can help you know whether or not you are already in 10th level. Or maybe you're in the high 7s or an 8 or a 9. You will need to know, what do I have to do to get up to that 10th level so that I can build that crystal body in that 10th level, so I can prepare that first layer so that I can be receptive to my own divine connection to myself and my divine connection to the divine creator of all that is, to the divine flow of all of life. So we want to be able to be receptive, to hear, to know, to listen. Where these communities are going to be will be revealed at a later point. I've been shown that they are going to be all over the entire planet, and that as many people as want to come and join the almost billion people who have already made themselves committed into co-creating these communities, we are willing to love and help you wake up, teach you what you need to do to get yourselves moving into the direction of love, into the direction of this higher light, and into the direction of community and caring for one another. So that is what it's going to take. Let me make sure that I haven't missed anything. So hold on just a second. All right. Let me see here. Making absolutely positive. All right. Yep, pretty much I think I've covered it. Remembering also that you need to transition from a flesh-eating diet, which would include chicken, fish, turkey, and any other kind of poultry, any kind of animal like a cow or a goat or a sheep, buffalo, I don't know, elk, whatever it is that people eat. transitioning over to a non-violent diet, which would be not killing animals. So that is how you're going to be getting ready for community, connecting with like-minded people, finding out what your frequency is, finding out how to build that crystalline body, taking time for quiet, to listen, to be guided, so that you know when you need to start thinking about moving, where you're going to be guided to move. It'll all happen internally, and or you will be connected to people who will know and who can bring you to the awareness and the knowing that you need to know. So much love to everybody, and the divine wants everyone to wake up. There is no limitation, but you do have to choose love. You do have to choose forgiveness. You do have to choose caring about your environment, about the animals on the planet, about all the life forms on the planet, the blessings of all the trees and the food that we have. It's walking in gratitude, walking in tandem with harmony and with love. Those are the requirements. All right. I hope to see you in the 5D communities, and be sure to ask for help if you need to have help. Take care, and God bless to all of you. Namaste.